Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be continuing the Cold War 2 and leading us into World War 3 here with Russian collapse on the rise. Sorry, with Russian collapse on the rise, Putin or whoever's in charge of Russia now, because it's probably not Putin, Ramiro must take charge. No. Sargon must take charge against Ramiro. What? Okay. So Republic of Russia. And on the news, on the daily news in Moscow. Breaking news! The Republic of Russia is heavily storming towards the city. The city calls for a wide evacuation as troops close in on the border at this instant. Anyway, I've got to evacuate. Very soon Moscow falls over. Um, Many people evacuate into. And actually, they don't have anywhere to evacuate. But they surrender. A lot of them actually just surrender over to the Republic of Russia. And the Republic of Russia will also try to branch out over and connect up with all of its areas to stabilize a little bit. They begin to take over this island here. But Russian forces in the north bring them to stalemate. But the island comes to surrender. Very soon they set naval fleets up north, and they begin to take over this part. A collapse in Russia genuinely might just be what the world needs here. And very soon they push up and unite with this area. What they have pushing outward. Norwegian troops are spotted on the border of Russia. Breaking news, here we are live on the scene up over here in the Norwegian tail as armed forces push into Russian mainland. This drags NATO into a war with Russia as the Norwegian party has decided war with Russia is inevitable, and either way it will end with the capitalist sides of NATO winning. As the Moscow forces cannot work fast enough against this rebellion, against all of NATO and most of North America, we see some instant setbacks for the Russian Federation set up by Putin. Very soon, Finnish troops are spotted doing drill near the border of Russia, and very soon Finnish troops will cross into the border, seeking to reclaim what they had lost in the Winter War. So yeah, as you heard from the news there, World War III has kind of officially started, and Russia and Russia's pacts with, Central Asia. Yeah, Central Asia did jump in on this. I don't think they're gonna do well. And Finland is going to push most of their forces into St. Petersburg down here south, try to take that over. As of course, it's a pretty major city of Russia. Of course, they have their less major forces up here making good pushes, like really good pushes. Here, yeah, Norway to the also make some pretty good pushes. They begin to come down south here, but their military action, like pretty much stops here. Um, so yeah, they kind of stop expanding down there now, and they work out a deal with the rebels of Russia, to get just this land up here. Um, but there was some also setbacks with that. The Republic of Russia actually asks to get a little bit of land back, and Norway is gonna say yes. Basically though, they're dividing this upper peninsula by the rivers here, and they divide it this way. Is what they're trying to do. Anyway, speaking of the Republic of Russia, their forces will move in on this big blob of Russian territory. Ships from down here will land up here, and this big area is taken out. There's quite a bit of population there. They also kind of move in here. And they take this land, they'll push up over here, and of course, they're making more advances, um, over here because less of, you know, um, the armies of Russia there. But of course, the moment Russia's just on collapsing. But with Central Asia being put in on this is gonna drag China into this war too, which is why the United States um did not want Norway attacking them. I forgot to mention, yeah, but the United States, yes, they joined the war. They knew they would have to now because World War III already started. Um, but they were very upset um at Norway for, of course, making this attack because they knew that would pull Central Asia and the Chinese bloc into the war. And they certainly did not want the Chinese bloc to be brought into this war. Very soon, Iran is pushed into the war. The Capitalist Party of Iran is pushed into this war. Yeah. And they kind of begin to move, or kinda, they begin to move in, on Central Asia here. They're going to get some pretty big pushes in over here, but they're kind of stalemated. They also make a few pushes over here. They also have to kind of push into Pakistan, which they do better up north with that. Of course, they will make a few pushes down south and all. Um, but the um, the Communist Party of Pakistan will though make some pushes in here. So right now, a lot of stuff here is going on. Of course, so sorry guys, give me one moment. Okay, we're gonna fix that right out. Sorry, I was just fixing up Afghanistan there. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan is going to kind of begin to push down south. They're going to begin to retake a little bit of land here. They're going to see this as some wins. They see it more of a win than a loss. Surprisingly. Yeah, so there. Meanwhile, instantly what China's going to do. the Chinese will begin to go after, if I'm correct, Vietnam, yeah, South Vietnam took over here. Very soon, they begin to go down after South Vietnam. Their forces are stalemated at Hanoi. There's an endless fight going on there. Meanwhile, in Taiwan, they're given a lot of stuff. They begin to push down slightly into Thailand. Um, just slightly. Not very much, but slightly. Yeah. They'll send some boats down to Manila, try to take over the Philippines. They take some islands from Japan, and for about 2 days it goes unnoticed. For about. Um, but when it comes to invading Japan, that's gonna be the hard thing to do. Yeah. When it comes to invading Japan, believe me, just ask Mongolia. Did not go well for that. Okay, Bangladesh. Yeah, I was about to say, wait, does Bangladesh even exist anymore? Meanwhile, the People's Forces of India, which, if I'm correct, are communists based off the color, will take these islands. There we go. Um, and they'll enter into Thailand down here. I think Indonesia is on the cap spectrum. They'll come in over to Malaysia, because I think they're also on the capitalist side of things. Um, the people. Hmm? No. Okay, give me a moment. Sorry. Don't know how that keeps happening. So, the People's Defense Force, of course, they're going to kind of not really make pushes into Thailand, actually. It's more of Thailand's actually, I think, going to push into um, the People's Defense Force, I think is what's going to happen. Is they begin to push into the People's Defense Force, actually, and they'll get aid from Cambodia for this. Very soon, the defense force will surrender over to Thailand, and the peace deal looks a little something like this, and a little more like, actually, I think it would look a little more like this. So yeah, this is what I think the peace treaty could look like here. Of course, Thailand would gain quite a bit of influence actually. Um, yeah, they'll gain this, and very soon the Republic of Bangladesh will be reformed, which is kind of great for Thailand. Thailand should really enjoy that. Thailand should really like that. Yeah. Um. So North Korea and South Korea is going to be an interesting topic. So obviously, at first, North Korea will easily make pushes down there. Um, in fact, the pushes go on quite a bit. But then South Korea will get a bunch of aid over from Japan, the United States, the West, pretty much. They will reclaim Xiao. Xiao. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. I know how to pronounce Pyongyang. I don't know how to pronounce Xiao. Xiao? 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 Seoul? Seoul. I think Seoul. 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 Yeah, I'm gonna think Seoul. And South Korea will begin to make some pushes up north. But then as they get further up, a lot more Chinese. The Chinese, um, Chinese just really begin to, yeah, the Chinese really come in and aid North Korea. They aid North Korea so much that they basically like demand, like the Chinese demand a little bit of land for how much help they got. They just gave North Korea. Of course, North Korea doesn't really like that very much. They actually like their land. But they are forced to give a little bit over to big big China. You know what's going on? Why? There you go. Okay, there we go. But very soon, South Korea um will push north with aid, a bunch of aid coming in from the west, and Japan out here. There's not much coming out from anywhere else here. There's a little bit from Indonesia, but Indonesia has to fight off India. But India's also a little bit weakened from that big civil war, so they're not as powerful as modern day India, and it's a big back and forth war. What keeps happening? Why does that keep? Um, um, very soon it's pushed to stalemate, but it looks like South Korea is winning it. Over in Japan, meanwhile. Why does that keep happening every time I hit backspace? Over in Japan, um, right, it's the state of Japan. Um, over in Japan, they'll begin to push the Chinese out. Well, they'll actually not begin, they'll push the Chinese out, is what I should say. They'll take the islands back, and they'll heavily help aid Taiwan and South Korea after that, while pushing some forces in over towards Shanghai. But they're probably not going to hold up too well over against China. Meanwhile, Taiwan, with this new aid, will be able to push the Chinese mostly out. Um, as the Chinese will, but the Chinese will also begin to push out Japan and Taiwan from the mainland. But very soon in China, very soon afterwards, the Guangzhou city-state will declare its independence from China. And with how big of a population Guangzhou is to China, they have to fight this. And with this massive, I mean, Guangzhou has millions, I think hundreds of millions of people in it. Actually a little bit. Um, but they put the point stands. They have a bunch of people. Um, they have to fight Guangzhou. And now that that happens, Taiwan is, since some forces have to be redirected over, since there's not too many forces in this area, of course. Um, so Taiwan has to fight. Taiwan, oh man, Taiwan has to push back against the Chinese. They will take the lands that China just took back from them. And honestly, they gain land out of China. They push down. The Philippines will begin to push up. This is going great at the moment for the West. Is, is it not? Is it a kingdom? Kingdom of the Philippines. Oh, Republic of the Philippines. Of the Philippines. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Anyway, the Philippines will begin to push out Chinese forces. As Western aid will push in. Meanwhile, the Republic of Indonesia. I think that, yeah. Okay, the Republic of Indonesia will push back India and cross up over here to help out Thailand and Malaysia. Very soon, Malaysia. I forget, is Malaysia a kingdom? I think Malaysia is a kingdom. Yeah, I think Malaysia is a kingdom. I'm looking at it here. The kingdom of no. Is it a state? The state of Malaysia. What is going on? Select? Like what? What? I hit the select thing. It's just called Malaysia. Okay, okay. That's just Google, really. Oh yeah, and they'll invade. I forget. Timor Leste is down south. Whatever, because they're dead now. They sided with China in this war. Let's say that wasn't the best decision. They'll begin to push back against India. Meanwhile, the Kingdom of Thailand does the same. Thailand up north. Well, do the same thing. Okay. As they push out India from their territory, um, and they soon come out to these islands, taking them all over there. Um, yeah. So in China, in China, give me a moment. So yeah, the Republic of the Qing of the King King of the Qing. I think it's the Qing. I think. Um, the Republic of the Qing, basically a reincarnation of the Qing dynasty, will form out west. And Tibet will also, yeah, Tibet is going to form here too. And the Chinese western area, falls apart. Uh, yeah, it's just complete it's horrible for China, and it's just out of nowhere too. Tibet rebels, and then all of a sudden everything just goes down. Oh, very soon they'll make some pushes in. Tibet really wants to stay neutral against China, but they know if they want independence, they're gonna have to fight for it. I think I just called Tibet. Yeah, Tibet. Um, Tibet will also begin to push in against China. Very soon, there are some small rebellions up in Manchuria. Yeah, just some small rebellions. the Manchurian Revolutionary State kind of formed here very, very instantly. Very instant. Very instantly. The their goal was to unite Manchuria under their rule. Um, and let's just say they're gonna do it pretty well. Manchuria does extremely well. Yeah. So they're kind of boom, boom, destroy, taken down. So yeah, that's what Manchuria's doing here. China under collapse. This is just horrible for the Chinese government. This is great for us. Yeah. Very soon, they basically have their goal completed. They'll even take land. Yeah, they declare straight up war with Russia here, and Russia's not going to be able to do anything about it. Russia's having to face all of Europe. Russia's going all after them, so they're not going to be able to do anything against them. Speaking of Russia going up against the West, they have. So yeah. Meanwhile, over in Russia, Ukraine will make pushes. They'll push back against Crimea. Oh, sorry, Belarus. And they'll take this land, and they'll come to an agreement with Russia on this land here. And at this point, yeah, the Russian Federation is. Oh, I think it's like capitalist. No, it does not have to do anything. Republic was. Did I just call it the Republic of Bet? No. No. Hmm. Select one? Total. Okay, right. I did call it that. Gee. I did call it that. Toyota. Bro, I think I almost spelled Toyota though. Hmm. So yeah, here we go. Belarus will also make pushes. Yeah. Poland. Poland wants revenge. Poland is power hungry. They're going to move in after Kaliningrad, leave barely anything for Lith- Lithuania. Yeah. Um. No. No. The infamous Germany. No, please. Okay. Anyway, Latvia. Latvia will make pushes into Russia. They'll take that. They'll happily take that land. Um. Next, Estonia is going to definitely make pushes into Russia. They're gonna push out here. Yeah. So, and from St. Petersburg, Finland will begin to move out. Avengers Doomsday. Okay. Here we go. That happened. They'll do that. They will branch out and get those pieces of land there. Meanwhile, in the Caucasus region, I think they're all republics down there. Georgia, will make some pushes. So they will get a stronger hold on the Black Sea. I think this is the Caspian. Um, and that's kind of what they want there. They're kind of good on anything. They're kind of good besides that. Yeah, Azerbaijan will come in next. Azerbaijan, um, will take land out of the list, and they're really happy with what they get. They like double the amount of land they have, so they're extremely happy out of here. And the Caucasus Republic will form down south, and they're like instantly given independence over here. Um, yeah. So basically, that's that. Yeah, there. Um, so that's gonna happen. Kazakhstan's gonna begin to fall. Yeah, Kazakhstan. So confused right now. The Republic of Tajikistan. No clue where it was. I think it was over here though. If I had to check, I think Tajikistan. Um, actually, give me a moment. Sorry, that was my mistake. They're actually down here. So yeah, and Afghanistan will get their land back plus more, so they're gonna be happy with that. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan. Sorry, Kazakhstan. That I did not mean for that to happen over there. Yeah. So Tajikistan basically pops out there. So the Central Asian Union is kind of collapsing. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Kyrgyz Republic will pop out um, over here. So Kyrgyzstan is back. Meanwhile, Uzbekistan will pop out. Yeah. So here we go. Uzbekistan will pop out. And this is basically a collapsing um, Kazakhstan. And finally, the Republic. Actually, no. Just to make these borders even better. Just even better. The Republic of give me a moment. Kazakhstan. The Republic of Kazakhstan fights its way out of this communist regime. Very, very, very soon. The president of the People's Republic of Kazakhstan, not these rebels, stands up on the podium over in a city over here. Today we declare that I'm sorry. I'm trying to do an accent. Just please, just don't judge the accent. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at it. Today I declare that the Kazakhstani rebels who have pushed and taken the nation and the countries that have claimed our land, those being the Republic of the Turks, Uzbekistan, and Kurds, have been granted independence but only those three listed as the ongoing war against the Republic of Kazakhstan. Bam! Gunfire, and the leader is assassinated. Very quickly, the country will fall apart. The military has no more order, and the country itself dies. If this leader had just decided, oh yeah, and finally, Kazakhstan and Mongolia share a border. Yeah, the Republic of Kazakhstan is back, and all of these are on the capitalist side of this. And meanwhile, one last thing. How long was the video paused for? Okay. So, small recap. I have no clue. India went through civil war. I think you guys saw that. Central Indian government, the Republic of India, Sri Lanka, the Maldives turned into water. There was a British protectorate of India, a French Indian state, the Indian Union of Peace, the Indian Army Forces, the UN puppet state of the United States. The United States actually just claimed some land straight up. Um, Bangladesh came back. The Eastern Indian Communist Party is there. The Northern Republic of the Indians. Um, the Indian Union of Peace, I think I already said them. Pakistan went through a civil war with the communist state of the Pakistani people and the Republic of Pakistan, along with the Communist Party of Pakistan. And so the Communist Party of Pakistan surrendered over to the Capitalist Party of Iran, which ended World War III. And then the United States took over part of Siberia here. Um, oh yeah, also China surrendered. Actually, no, Pakistan surrendering didn't end World War III. It's gonna be when China surrenders, and they're gonna surrender very soon, actually, when something happens. Yeah. And then he also brought in over here the Serbian Civil War, Bosnia and Herzegovina come back, Kosovo comes back. I guess Montenegro, nothing. And the national riot of pro-NATO existence over in Serbia. Also, maybe I paused you guys during the whole Kazakhstan thing, but the Republic of Kazakhstan popped out, Uzbekistan popped out, Kyrgyzstan popped out, Tajikistan popped out, Iran got land out of it. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan got land out of it. So yeah, that's basically a very quick briefing for you there. That was 2 minutes long. Geez, guys, I hope you saw that. Yeah. So, not too much stuff you missed. Just a bunch of Civil Wars I'm gonna do some short videos on, probably. I'm gonna try to make them longer, though. Okay, yeah, anyway, guys, bye. I think that's it. Or, actually, first, we have to, well, I have to, get China to surrender and end World War II. And how is that gonna happen? The Ming Dynasty Republic. Yes, I know, what a weird thing. The Ming Dynasty Republic will form, and that is officially going to pull China out of the war. Something else is, but before they actually surrender, though, to the West, another thing is going to happen. Taiwan is going to happen. Taiwan is going to, yeah, with all of this going on, Taiwan does this. What's going on? Okay. Taiwan, will take all of this, and China officially, surrenders to the West. Oh, and another thing that probably would have happened by now. Here we go. Okay. Well, yeah, and also, I don't think this accounts for this. I think this was a map from 2025. Pro-US, Republic of Venezuela. That, and I'm pretty sure, like, that already exists, right? So, yeah, nothing really over in the Americas gonna go on. So, yeah, that all happens. That all kind of blows up in the commie space. Yeah. And Syria. Okay. Pro US, totally not rebels in Syria. Okay. I was just checking to see, wait, they be included in the peace deal in like any way? Oh. Okay, yeah. They're good. And communism is basically extinct now. Yeah. That's yeah, basically the only communist country that's actually left is China. So anyway guys, bye. Make sure to join the Nerd Army and subscribe to Go to the Man 92 Mason's Golf channel. And more along with Razor Rides and an easier registration is dirtbiker_27. Peace. Bye.